Hey, what's up, everyone? You're here with the PickDawgz Soccer Crew, Goran, Kirk, and Jack. Thank you for joining us. It's Saturday. It's one of the busiest days that we had this week. Sunday is gonna be equally busy, but before we get there, we gotta do these Saturday videos, guys. And I believe we have 15 games in this video to talk about. So we won't take up too much of your time. Just want to mention our premium picks, which have been doing pretty well. I know that Kirk and Jack are doing NBA as well. There's some MLB action going on, and of course, a lot of soccer as well. So get on board, guys. Get those 3-day passes, and let's win some money together. Now, let's get this show on the road, guys. The first game that we have, Jack, Aston Villa and Fulham are facing off. Now that Aston Villa is out of the Champions League, they got knocked out of the FA Cup as well. They are in the hunt for that Champions League spot. How do you see this game going?
Um, I've got to say, the last few weeks, I didn't realize, by the way, how good the last few game weeks are across all the leagues. This one though, I mean, do Fulham really have anything to play for at this point? They're 6 points behind any European spot. Villa are in that seventh spot, and with 4 games left, I just think 6 points is probably too many. But if they can pull out an upset here, who knows? For me in this game, I've just got to take Villa at home. Form hasn't really been the best coming off of that City loss, but I guess you could accept that. Before that, it was okay. It was okay. So I think Villa at home is a fine bet, safe bet. I got to say at -133.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think that Fulham is a bit too far out of the Champions League. Um Europa League spot, I don't know, maybe, well, not even the Europa League or the Conference League spot, unless something moves up and down in the standings. I don't know, somebody who wins the FA Cup who already qualified for the Champions League or something like that, then there's some movement,
Well,
I
if
think,
if
involved.
if United or Tottenham win the Europa, I think it takes Chelsea's fifth spot away, and then Chelsea will be given Europa and so on if they finish there. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, in this one, I'm taking Villa on the money line as well. -128 at home. I'll take that. Kirk, got anything else to add?
So Chelsea would double qualify for Europa if they win Conference League.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, right? I didn't even think about that. Well, you can't get more than seven spots. Any nation can't get more than 7 spots. I think England get one conference, one Europa, and then the rest get Champions League. So, gee, someone's going to be paid big bucks to organise that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one, Kirk, Everton and Ipswich. How do you see this game going? We know that Ipswich is out of the EPL. They're done for. Everton pretty much got nothing left to play for.
Yeah, Everton haven't been that good lately, but they should be able to beat Ipswich at home. I don't really see Ipswich scoring here. They scored less than 1 goal a game. Everton concede about 1 goal a game. I'm gonna take Everton to nil.
Yeah, at the bottom of the table, we have Southampton, Leicester, and Ipswich. And then above them, we have West Ham, Tottenham, Everton, and Manchester United. So it's quite a strange sight to see, but I think that Everton has to get the job done in this one. However, personally, I'm staying away from sides. I'm going to take the over 2.5, -112. If nothing else, I think that Ipswich might try and do something for their fans, maybe score a goal or two or something like that, Jack.
What
Well,
fans?
yeah. I mean, the biggest part. I'll be
Sorry,
tuning into
sorry.
this.
What, Kirk? What did you say?
What fans? Ed Sheeran's not traveling on the road.
No, you got to give it to Ipswich. You're not the biggest club in the world, a bit like Bournemouth. I think if you grow up around Ipswich, I think a lot of you will be an Ipswich fan. I guess you could probably say the same for like St. Pauli or something like that in Bundesliga. But fair play to Ipswich. They all stayed after that Newcastle game when they got relegated last weekend, and they clapped the team off. So fair play to the fans there. For me, I have to take Everton -1. I'll be tuning into this game because this is the last game ever at Goodison Park for Everton before they move stadiums. So I think the team are just going to be motivated to give Goodison Park a good send off. So give me -1 with Everton here.
Now, Leicester and Southampton, another game with absolutely no meaning because both teams are getting relegated. Southampton with -155 goal difference. Leicester with -1 with -49 goal difference. Uh, I don't know. I feel like this is a chance for a goal scoring game or whatever, a game with at least 3 or 4 goals or something like that, which is why I'm going to take the over 3 goals at plus 124. But I definitely like your pick a lot here, Kirk.
I do too. It's time to have a party. It's Leicester's last season, or it's Vardy's last season at Leicester. One of his last home games for Leicester against one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, it sets up beautifully. It really does. He has to score in this game. He has to. He should be minus 500 to score in this game, but he's not. So the fact that he's not is I'm taking it.
What are your thoughts about this one, Jack?
Yeah, I think this is just a game where probably both teams feel like they can somewhat end the season on a high. Leicester, they can't score at home, but they can score on the road. So I'm happy to go with the over like you here, Goran. I guess you've gone for a bit extra than me, but yeah, I just see goals. I think both the defense for both of these teams is the reason why they've been relegated. They've scored a load of goals, in comparison to previous relegated teams. It's just defense where they lack. So happy to ride with the over. I've got to say though, Kirk, I do like the pick for a sentimental value. It makes a lot of sense. But if you look at Vardy's goals to 90 minutes ratio, it's so bad. He scores like 0.24 goals this season in 90, but it would not surprise me if he goes and gets a hat trick in the last 2 games. That's Jamie Vardy
He's
for you.
due now, I
He's
suppose.
due. He's due, exactly.
No such thing.
Kirk, Arsenal and Bournemouth. Arsenal got nothing left to play for in the EPL, but they have a very, very big game in the Champions League next week after a huge disappointment against PSG, where they haven't not even scored a goal. They haven't created a decent chance, I suppose, apart from those 2 cancel goals, or was it 1 cancel goal by the
One.
VAR? Apart from that, just nothing, just passing the ball left and right and going backwards, very rarely going forward with the ball. It just, I don't know, disappointing gameplay by Arsenal.
I don't know how you can still be disappointed with you. I told you, Goran, how this game was going to pan out, and I don't know how you can still be disappointed. I mean, this team's terrible. Bournemouth is terrible. Could be a 5-5 draw. Could be 0-0. I don't know, but I think it's a draw. And I mean, if Dembele doesn't get Ballon d'Or, it's just this world is corrupt. This world is corrupt.
Wait,
Well,
if
he
who doesn't
probably
get Ballon
won't.
d'Or?
Dembele, if they win the Champions
Yamal,
League,
your boy Yamal's got to
If
get
they
it.
if they win the Champions League, I think Dembele might get it. If they
might
win the Champions League, if
will.
Barcelona wins the Champions League, it's gonna be Yamal.
It's got to be Rafinha. It's got to be.
I think
I don't
whoever
know.
finished this season strongest has definitely got to be considered favourite. That's Dembele, that's Yamal, that's Rafinha.
Yamal's
Yamal
not
goes
in
and
that
scores,
conversation.
if Yamal goes and
He
scores a
is.
brace, did you see what he did against Inter? The
Yeah,
guy
I
just
did.
had he keeps having the best game of his career, game after game after game. He just keeps improving.
What happened against Dortmund?
I don't know. I don't know. But regardless,
He doesn't play well on the road. I'm telling you. In hostile environments, he doesn't play well on the road.
Well, I mean, he did all right in the Euros as well. He was one of Spain's best players.
Yeah,
But
I guess
I think
we'll
it's
see
nice.
next week.
It's nice and refreshing that we have a close race for once. Because the
I
last
don't think it's remotely close.
really,
It is.
I'd love to know the odds. I'd love to know the odds. I bet you there is no player under plus 200.
Well, yeah, the odds are stupid. You already know I don't disagree with them
But
ever.
year after year, we've seen what, like Messi or Ronaldo, like minus 200, minus 400. Who got it last season? Rodri, right? Rodri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or last year, should I say? Other than that, I mean, this is the most fun-looking Ballon d'Or race I've seen.
Well, because it's also not mainstream names.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Now,
Now, Jack, no, I was gonna get to that, but I mean, we got sidetracked a lot. You and I are going the same way in this one. Bournemouth on the double chance. I'm leaning towards the draw personally, but yeah, I feel like Bournemouth could get something out of this match.
Well, yeah, I mean, Arsenal have no reason to play any starting players. You have to somehow go and win at PSG in the week. You aren't gonna. You laugh. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. I'm telling you, Kirk. I actually don't mind your PSG shout now. The way Barca looked against Inter, if you're conceding 3 goals to Inter, I do fear what you're gonna
Remember
do
when you
against.
said Barca's defense has been really good?
Yeah, and I'll stand. I'll stand and
They
say
look. I'm saying they look good. They didn't look bad. They should have conceded 6 times.
I don't know why
They
you I
did.
don't know why you're trying to bash me here, because the difference between me and you, Kirk, is I'll sit and say, you know what, I got it wrong. I don't think you'd be the same.
Oh, I
But
will.
regardless,
I've said it
okay,
before.
you want to talk about number 2 and number 4 now, or
I'm not wrong yet.
okay.
What
Give me Bournemouth or draw here.
what I'm wrong about is that I didn't look at the referees for
Ah,
officiating that game,
classic.
because that non-call on Garnacho's hand is just I mean, it's criminal. It's like not giving Dembele the Ballon d'Or. It's beyond me. I've never seen anything like it.
Now, Kirk, before we move on, you're lagging quite a bit. Your camera is. So if you could check your connection for a second there, that'd be great. If not, we'll move on like this. Moving on to La Liga, where we have Alaves and Atletico. Jack, Alaves fighting to stay above the relegation zone. Atletico will qualify for the Champions League. They got nothing other apart from that. They're far away from the title. But Alaves needs at least a point out of this game. How do you see this one go?
I mean, you kind of already touched on it for me. Atletico, well, they don't really have much to play for. They 1 point. Is it for Champions League now or something like that? And the key for me is, for some reason, Atletico, they've just not been picking up cards recently, which is rare for an Atletico Madrid side. So I'm taking the under in the cards here. The fact that we're getting 5.5 as well as the standard neutral line is crazy to me. So give me the under 5.5 cards. That is.
Now, Kirk, how do you see this game going?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not lagging on my end. It must be your Wi-Fi for all I know.
You're lagging for me too, Kirk.
Yeah, you're lagging from both of you lagging from me. It must be your guys' connection over in Europe.
We'll see. We'll see on the raw edit when it gets uploaded.
There must be some outage in Europe right now. But anyways,
You know what I said 2 minutes ago, Goran? When you said I'll stand and say I got it wrong or I'm wrong here.
Yeah,
well, can I not tell the truth that you guys are lagging from me?
Okay.
that's fine. Move on.
Anyways, I was looking at 1-0 Alaves in this game, but I don't like the odds. Plus 800 is not enough. That's telling me that they're expecting it. That's telling me that they're expecting the 1-0 Alaves. And Madrid 1-0 is plus 500. You could go that way. You could do 1-0 either team. You could do 0-0. But just to cover all bases, I'll do both teams to score no. It's at minus 134. There's probably not 2 goals in this game.
Didn't Las
I
Palmas
will
beat
actually.
Atletico 1-0 as well recently? Las Palmas?
You don't want me to do this again, do you?
Oh, on a sunny beach.
Because we're doing it in 2 games.
Let's do it.
I will go against you, Kirk, in this one. I'll take both teams to score. I think that Alaves can score a goal here because Atletico has been conceding a decent amount. They are not caring about anything anymore. And Alaves needs a point out of this game. I don't think they can keep a clean sheet, but they can score a goal. So I'm going to go with both teams to score. Now, after the next one, Villarreal and Osasuna. Villarreal at the moment sitting at fifth place with 55 points, which is a Champions League spot, but Betis is right behind them with 1 point less. And Osasuna is fighting for, well, either the Conference League or the Europa League, Jack. Uh, who do you have in this game?
I mean, Villarreal, if you backed both teams to score across this season up to this point, in Villarreal games, you'd be a very rich man or woman right now. They're the joint top team in the LaLiga for both teams to score matches. So I think Osasuna, we've seen all season long, they can grab goals, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. They seem to score fairly consistently. And I've got to say, I can't really trust Villarreal's defense. Sometimes it looks pretty good, sometimes it doesn't. So happy to go with the consistently inconsistent here and go both teams to score.
Yeah, I'll take it a step further. I'll go for plus money. I'll take the over 2.5 as well. So I'll combine your both teams to score, Kirk, and I'll add the over 2.5. I just think that neither side will be too happy with the draw, and I think they both go for the win if it's a 1-1.
Agree.
There you go. Now, Kirk, you feel free to talk about your beautiful island, Las Palmas, sunny beach.
Yeah, you're Valencia. You're out of the relegation zone. You see this match on your schedule. You're like, oh man, let's get a nice little tan. We're not going to get relegated. They're going to have a team bonding event at the beach probably the night before the game. Have a couple beers. Happy they're just staying in the league. Then they wake up. They got to play a game. And they're going to be tired from all that heat over in Las Palmas. Beautiful island, so much sun. I mean, it's going to be tough. They're going to be tired. Las Palmas, they don't score a lot, but they don't concede a lot, especially at that beautiful island. It's an easy under.
Yeah, but you know what? Valencia is only 5 points away from the spot in Europe, though. And that's coming from a team that was sitting dead last at the beginning of the year. And they're now undefeated in their last, how many, 7 or 8 games or something like that, Jack.
Yep.
And I think that this should be a very fun game. I think that Valencia, I think they might go for the win here. Of course, that doesn't mean that they will get it because Las Palmas needs a win here to avoid the relegation. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with goals. This one over 2.5 minus 101. I think it's gonna be either 1-1 or it's gonna be 2-1 for either side, Jack.
Clearly, you've never experienced the Las Palmas curse.
I mean, this game it was the hardest one for me in this whole video. Actually, probably the weekend. It's just so unpredictable. So I'm not betting this. This is just a situation of if I had to pick a choice here, who do I pick? And it's Valencia. But yeah, as you said, Goran, I've got to say the Liga is like cooked. Alaves, who are like 17th, they are like 8 points off of Europe and one position off relegation. How is that even like a thing? It's crazy to me. So I guess really from what 9th to 14th, which is Valencia, any of those teams can make Europe if they find some form here. But yeah, as I said, folks, Valencia plus 177. Don't love it. It's a lean, if anything.
Worst pick of the day. You know what I think of it. Las
I hate it as
Palmas
well. I hate
3-0.
it as well.
The last game in La Liga, guys, Valladolid and Barcelona, and we mentioned Barcelona and their sloppy defense against Inter. I mean, Inter did not create a lot of chances in this game, but they were incredibly effective. And those defensive performances by Barcelona's defenders were just not good. Uh, Kubrasi and Inigo Martinez are usually paired up very, very well. They're quite solid, but they're really missing Balde on that left flank. And he's like a really, really good fullback, and he goes up on the pitch quite a lot. Now they also lost Kunde, who will be out for the next like 3 weeks or something like that, which is a huge, huge blow for this team. Which means that my boy Eric Garcia will be on the right fullback, and I got stomach ache just thinking about it. But I don't know. They will just have to go out and outscore Inter in that second leg. There's nothing else you can do. You definitely can't play for zero, Kirk, because you can't do it. And I mean, they have the ability to outscore them, but I don't know. Back to this one, Kirk. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, this is a tricky one because they are racking up injuries right now and they have a big game
Yeah.
during the week, but they still do want to win this competition. And then you play against Valladolid, and this could be the shock result of the season, depending on which Barcelona they put out and how they decide to attack this game. Um, I don't know. I have Barcelona to score less than 2 goals in the first half. I don't think that they're really gonna. If I don't even know if they win this game, but if they do it, I don't think it'll be convincing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Pedri will be out of the starting 11. Gavi should get in. De Jong probably out. Dani Olmo probably out. I want to say Lamine Yamal will also be out for this game. He had like the 120 minutes against Real Madrid and the whole 90 against Inter. I'm pretty sure he will be on the bench for this game as well. I think Rafinha might get some rest too. I think we're going to see a bunch of youngsters in the lineup, Jack, and that's either going to go very well for Barcelona because they will be hungry and they will be trying to prove themselves, or it's going to be quite costly. Now, one thing that's going to Barcelona's favor is that they are still playing against Real Madrid later this month. So there's another El Clásico coming up, and that's the one where probably the title will be decided. Now, in this game, Jack, you're kind of agreeing with Kirk, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just taking both teams. I mean, Barcelona under 1.5 goals in the first half is pretty much under 1.5 goals in the first half total because Valladolid aren't going to score. They're not going to score.
Hey.
They won't score.
Mark my words. 1-1 at half. I win, you lose.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. If it hits, again, I'll tip my hat to you, Kirk. You got a team who've scored 24 goals this season, and Barcelona are a team who don't really start that quick. I mean, there's 16 road games they've had this season. They've only won the first half 4 times. So with the rested players, the forwards that aren't going to be there, I just don't see a lot of goals here. I think Barcelona win this game. I think Barcelona B would win this game. But I just don't think it's going to really be settled in the first half. So give me the under 1.5 at plus money.
Yeah, for once, I will be staying away from this game. I won't be betting it personally. Won't have any previews on it. I guess I'll just watch it maybe. But I mean, Barcelona to win and both teams to score at plus 117 simply because they can't defend right now. They can't keep a clean sheet. So that's kind of my logic for this one. Off to Bundesliga, where we have a few interesting games: Kirk, Union Berlin, and Werder. Go ahead.
Under.
That's it.
What else do I
It's
need to
Union.
say?
All right, Jack.
Under.
Wow.
It's Union
Well,
Berlin.
I'm gonna
I
go.
mean, how can we even make this part of the video fun? It's Union Berlin.
You can't even do the Las Palmas or anything. You just have to. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say, but you just.
Beautiful and sunny Berlin.
Yeah, that doesn't really go with it.
I'm taking the draw in this one. Honestly, I don't mind the under. Could be a 0-0, could be a 1-1 draw or something like that. But yeah, we'll see how this was gonna go. Gladbach and Hoffenheim. Jack, I don't know if you saw the Hoffenheim's last game against Dortmund last week. They got robbed at the end of it, like badly. If you haven't saw that last goal by Dortmund for a 3-2 win, just check it out after the video. You will know what I'm talking about.
All right.
And I kind of feel like they could be getting some of it back in this game. I think there could be a slight push by the refs or whatever. And Gladbach is playing pretty bad right now on a 3-game losing streak. So I'll take Hoffenheim on the double just at minus 145.
Yeah, I mean, with how bad both teams have been defensively, it kind of feels wrong that both teams can't lose this game, if that makes sense. I don't think either team deserves to even get a draw in this game based on the form. So I don't know. The defense has been shocking. How do you concede 4 goals to Kiel if you're Gladbach? And
It was
then
on the road.
Hoffenheim, it's on the road, but it's Kiel. It's Kiel we're talking about. So
Yeah, they weren't watching anime in the first half. They actually played the whole game.
I was waiting for that one.
The
I set
season's
that one up
over,
for you.
I guess, for the show that they were watching usually.
Season must
Yeah.
be over. But yeah, over both teams to score here. I just think if you look at the recent games, I do look forward to actually seeing that final goal. I did not even hear about it. I will go and look at it. But yeah, I mean the goal lines, the results speak for themselves for both teams recently. defense clearly not a priority at all. So both teams are scoring over.
Kirk?
I don't know how you're backing Hoffenheim in this game. I really don't. You're at home. This is when you back Gladbach plus money. That's one of the easiest bets of the day.
Moving on to the next one, Kirk, then St. Pauli and Stuttgart. Stuttgart has been, a weird team lately, especially this year. There's not going to be, well, there could be Europe for them if they win the DFB Pokal, which they are huge favorites in, I guess. But St. Pauli, they're sitting 6 points clear of the relegation zone. Do you think it's going to be enough for them to stay in the league?
100%. 100%. Well, we don't know. The biggest game of the weekend in the whole world is Friday between Bochum and Heidenheim. That's the game everyone has to get up for. But this game, it's an under. Stuttgart hasn't really been scoring too much lately, or maybe they have, but not in the way that I envision them scoring, if that makes sense. They don't look fluid. And Pauli is a team that does not concede. They just don't. They've only conceded 36 times all season, which is, I say this every week, but it's one less than Leverkusen. They've conceded the third least in the league, and they're in 14th. So the team that just doesn't score. They've only scored 26 goals. It's an easy under. 3 of their last 4 have been draws, and I'm telling you, they haven't been high scoring draws. I don't mind the draw. I also don't mind the under. It could take 1-1, 0-0.
Yeah, I think St. Pauli will have to get a little bit rough in this game to kind of secure that point or maybe even a win. And to get 3 cards in a game, that's a pretty decent high line. But we're getting it at plus 140 for St. Pauli. So I'll take St. Pauli over 2.5 cards at plus 140, Jack.
Yeah, I think I just have to take both teams to score. I do disagree a little with Kirk about Stuttgart's offensive style or form right now, whatever you want to call it. 10 goals in 4 games is pretty good. 13 in 5 is pretty good. All that being said, though, Pauli's defense has looked a bit better recently, and now they're at home, so there is a slight concern there. I'm not saying this game's going to have a ton of goals, but I think we see both teams score, so I like both teams to score here.
You do have to realize, though, that they didn't score last game at home against Heidenheim. Then they scored 4 times in the first half against Union, who no one knows how they did that, and then they didn't score. They only scored once against Werder. So,
I
law of
think they're good
average.
enough to get 1 here.
Yeah, they
all I
can
need-
get 1, but they're not getting 45.
Yeah. I'd agree with you on that.
Finally.
Now, Kirk, the biggest game of the day in Bundesliga, Leipzig and Bayern. Leipzig, at the moment, they're sitting 5th with 2 points less than Freiburg, and Freiburg has a hard game this weekend. But I would argue that this game is pretty hard for Leipzig too, because Bayern could potentially, I think, secure the title in this one. They are now
Yeah, they
what's
win.
8 points?
They win it. They got the title. And boy, I really hope they win it because Harry Kane's suspended, and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The first game he can ever win a title. What an idiot, by the way. What an absolute
Yeah, but he will still win the title. So
yeah, but what an absolute idiot. Next game you're gonna probably win the title, first one he's ever wanted, and he picks up a stupid yellow card and gets suspended for yellow cards for the first time in his life. What an idiot. Yeah, I would be so happy if he's not on the pitch when they win it. That dude's such a bum. Ruined our Champions League hopes, everything. So I'm taking Bayern to
he
win
ruined
here.
your Champions League hopes. It wasn't him who ruined your Champions League hopes.
It was 100%.
No. No.
100%.
What do you have in this game, Kirk, then?
Do you want to go over that miss from the 5-yard line off the
No,
post? Exactly.
I'm fine.
I'm fine as well. It's such a bum. So this will be the first game I enjoy watching all season and will win the title. No Harry Kane. I have to take Bayern on the money line. It's probably close because Leipzig are at home and are fighting for Champions League, but I have to take Bayern.
Jack?
Yeah. Bayern -1.5 for me. I'm just taking it a step further than Kirk. Are Bayern going to win by 1 goal? I mean, possibly. I'm just happy to get plus money on this one. I think, again, do you want to take it a bit risky for plus money, or would you rather play it safe and make the pussy play, as what Kirk likes to say?
This is not a pussy play. I would never take -1.5 here.
For the price difference? For a difference of 1 goal? I don't
One
know.
goal. Bayern got knocked out by 1 goal because Harry Kane hit the post from 3 yards out. Unbelievable. Shitty bum.
I'll take a pick here that
Well, actually,
I
since they
took
don't have
last
Harry
time.
Kane, it might be a good bet because everyone else on the team can score an open net.
No, Sonic can't score an open net.
I don't get the Sane slander. I really don't. It makes no
It's-
sense to me.
It's not good.
It makes no sense to me. I'm not even getting into the
Yeah.
Sane argument because
Yeah,
so
no.
many people are delusional when they talk about him. It's just not even worth my breath.
I mean, you don't know what the guy is. Is he a midfielder? Is he a winger? Is he a playmaker? Whatever he is. And he's trying to do it all in this Bayern team.
So that
And
makes
he's
him
not
bad.
succeeding in anything. Yeah, because he's not successful in anything. He could be great,
He is
but he's
great.
just not. No.
He's great.
I'm taking both teams to score in the first half in this one, plus 210. That was the painful bet that Kirk lost to me when they were meeting in the first leg of this
That was so
Bundesliga
dumb.
season.
That was so dumb.
I'll take it again. It's plus 210. The last game, Jack, Dortmund and Wolfsburg. Dortmund all of a sudden got their hopes up for the Champions League for next season. At the moment, let me just look up the standings real quick where they are. They are now in sixth with 3 points less than Freiburg. While Wolfsburg, I mean, they're just so bad right now.
Yeah. I mean, Dortmund, they've just been a weird team this season. I mean, first half of the season, completely different team to what they are now. I think that's probably the better way to put it. I just don't think I could see past Dortmund here at all. Dortmund again, -1.5. I much prefer that price to the heavy -300 money
Well,
line.
I mean that you can't make that argument as the same one as the Bayern
No,
one. Bayern
I'm not
minus
saying it's the same. I'm just saying I think if Dortmund are going to win this game anyway, they're going to win by a decent margin. It's either going to be Dortmund win by 2 or more, or it's going to be like a draw or a Wolfsburg upset. I don't think this is going to be a struggle if Dortmund win, is what I mean.
Yeah,
Now, Kirk, you are going against Jack, I see.
obviously.
You think that Wolfsburg can do something? I mean, they haven't done anything this year. You think they can do something in this game?
Obviously.
How much do you think they can do?
Win.
Lose by 1 or get a draw?
Win.
What?
Win.
What?
Win.
Win? No,
Yeah,
I don't think they can get a win.
I do.
So why did you take them on the money line then?
I don't know. There could be the result where they lose by 1. I just think this type of game, these two teams, if you really watch the Bundesliga, these two teams are very similar in their play styles. Very physical midfielders like Emre Can, what's his name, Sava Schlager type of dude for Wolfsburg. It's gonna be a tough game. I mean, Dortmund, I could see a 3-2 here. It's Wolfsburg for me.
Yeah, I think it could be a tight game. I think that Wolfsburg could get to the scoreboard, but I think Dortmund wins this one. simply because Wolfsburg is still missing a few players because of the injuries, and Arnold is one of those players that you mentioned as one of those like rougher midfielders that Wolfsburg has and that Dortmund has. He is suspended because of a red card. I mean, they did get Meyer back, but he's just coming back from an injury, so I'm not sure how much we can expect from him. But I think that Wolfsburg overall can score a goal, so I'll take Dortmund to win and both teams to score. I'm looking at the 2-1, maybe a garbage goal for a 3-1 or something like that, but I think it's gonna be close. Um, Off to Serie A, Kirk, Lecce, and Napoli. Lecce, the team that is out of Serie A, they are getting relegated. At the moment, no, actually, no, they're not yet. They're sitting 17th with 27 points, which is just above the relegation. While Napoli at the moment on the top with 3 points ahead of Inter.
Yeah. I got the under. I mean, Napoli's last two games 2-0, 1-0, 3-0, 1-1. I mean, they just haven't been scoring that much, but they also haven't been conceding. I think the line's kind of trying to tell you it's going to be like a 1-0, 2-0 Napoli. So I'll take the under, though, because I could see Lecce doing something here. Napoli will probably win the league. Jack, here you go. I just said it.
It's not my money. It's not my, again. I have no horse in this race.
I know, but I'm saying your point that I I'm probably I wouldn't even say I'm wrong though. I just would say that Inter shot the bed more than I
Look,
thought they would.
this is my take. I think if Inter had, was it Bayern? They played right. If Bayern had knocked out Inter, Inter are much different looking in the league than what they are now. It's down the stretch, you know. If you're in these competitions, they've played Coppa Italia, they've played and they lost the Champions League semi-final, which they still have a very good chance of going all the way. It unfortunately for them, it's just panned into Napoli's hands in the league. And for me, I think Napoli again, as long as you don't concede in this game, you're 100% going to win, whether it's 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. So I'm just going to go with Napoli to 0 here. It's Lecce. I don't know. Defense. If you're putting your money on either Napoli's defense outsmarting or outbeating Lecce's attack, I think everyone would take that. So Napoli to 0 here.
Yeah, and there's the fact that Napoli has a lighter schedule than Inter does. Of course, they don't have to play twice a week. They're playing easier opponents towards the end of the season, so that certainly will have a huge impact. I'm taking Napoli -1, -114. I could see a 1-0, 2-0 game, and that's about it. Like you said, Kirk, they're not scoring a lot, but they're getting the wins that they absolutely need. Now, Inter and Verona, Inter heavy favorites at home. How many players, Jack, do you think they rest for the second leg of the Champions League?
It's probably going to be very similar to Barca. Again, you're struggling with fixture congestion in the most fatigued part of the season. I mean, even again, it's kind of the same spot that Barca are in. You can rest players and still beat Verona, no problem. The bench would probably be starting if they were on Verona's roster. So uh, it's tough for me. I think Inter scrape a win. I think it's 1-0. I think the depth just out prevails Verona. I guess you could say Inter to nil could also be a viable option. I'm just going under 1.5 here. I'm going to really try and push my money on this one.
Going back to 1996, Kirk, Inter has never lost to Verona, and they failed to beat them at home only once. That was a 2-2 draw or something like that, like years and years ago. Verona, I mean, not a great team. At the moment, they're above their obligations only with 7 points to spare, so they're fairly safe. There's no immense pressure on them. The pressure is on Inter in this game. If they want to have a chance at the title, they need to get a win out of this game. So I'm gonna take Inter to win to nil, -103, 1-0, 2-0 win. I think that's about it we see.
Yeah, I mean it has to be Inter to nil for me here. Not much else to say.
In the French League One, Kirk, though, we have Strasbourg and PSG, and Strasbourg is actually the favorites in this game. Not a big favorite, but a slight favorite at home. PSG, they lost Dembele, who will probably miss the second leg of the Champions League as well because of an injury. I think I read that he'll miss at least a week and a half or something like that. Luckily for PSG, they have Barcola still. Now, same question that I had for Inter, Kirk. How many players do you think PSG rests in this game?
I don't know. I don't think it matters. Because tell me who started for PSG. Who is the front three for PSG
What do you mean? Who's the front three?
in that game against Arsenal?
Well, Barcola was on the bench, so yeah.
Exactly. So now he's the
Yeah, but
odd.
now, okay. Yeah, but he will have to play from the beginning in the second leg. Do you think he'll get additional rest here, though?
Now this is my point, Goran. The fact that he's the odd man out now with Doué, I'm seeing some comparisons that Doué is better than Lamal, and I'm seeing him a lot of places. It's just the media for Barcelona that's kind of making your mall to be out that. I mean, Doué's not nice. Barkley is good, but I think Barkley is going to have some extra motivation in this game because he is the odd man out now. Before Scalia got there, it was him, Dembele, and Barcola or Doué. Now he's not. Now Scalia has earned that spot. Doué's earned it. Dembele's earned it. Barcola is going to be trying to prove himself in this game. I think he's going to get on the score sheet here, and it'll make him play in leg two. Like, I mean, there's a world where they put Goncalo Ramos up top instead of Barcola as well. So I think if he proves himself here, he'll probably start Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever the game is. So I'm going to take Barcola to score.
Yeah, we have Strasbourg, Jack, still fighting for the Champions League spot. I don't know. I think a lot will depend on my pick, whether or not I bet this game is the starting 11 for PSG. But I think that both teams to score in over 2.5 at minus 149. I think the books giving it at such a juiced price tells you that they are expecting it. I don't think that Strasbourg can keep a clean sheet regardless of the starting 11 for PSG. But the question is, can they get a win or a draw out of this game? I think that will depend on the lineups.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing a big play of the day, at least one of these long forms, and this one's mine. I think, again, let's not forget Strasbourg are still trying to push for Champions League. They've stumbled here and there. I think this is just going to be a matter of, again, another resting spot for PSG. They've already won the league. They have nothing to play for. Don't mind the Barcola player prop because, again, he's going to be wanting to get into the manager's good books to try and get some minutes if they reach the final, perhaps. I'm going draw Strasbourg halftime, full time. I think Strasbourg can just, grind out the game. PSG, they're not going to be too invested in 80 minutes plus if it's 1-1 or 0-0. Strasbourg, they're going to be attacking at home with their fans cheering them on. As a sidetrack, by the way, I'd like to ask the question here because I was thinking about when we were talking, or when Kirk was talking about this this attack for PSG. Who would you prefer right now? Liverpool's attack, considering the depth, or PSG? Because you think about it, Barcola's on the bench for PSG. Liverpool, who have they got? Gakpo on the bench or Jota? I mean, both those teams are extremely stacked up front. I'd like to know in the comments.
Taking PSG.
Whatever happened to Kolo Muani? Where'd he go?
He's in Juventus.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is. He is.
I mean, it's like you compare Dembele with Salah. You probably compare.
Can't compare the two. No,
I mean,
it's not even close.
No, but I'm saying
not even close.
They're the top players from both attacks. I'm saying like for like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Okay, maybe that way, but yeah. Apart from that, no other way.
It's close.
I will say it is close. It is close. Even though I have a hard on for Dembele, it's very close.
I would take PSG just because I prefer those types of players like more than I prefer Salah type of players, I guess.
Yeah.
I was never a huge fan of Salah, but you can't take away the credit from him because he's been scoring like a shit ton of goals ever since he got to the EPL. Yes, but a lot of his goals are penalty kicks, right? He's
That's
got
fair.
what, at least 15 penalty kick goals for each season. So I don't know. I would take PSG
Are you
because
talking
I
about
like I
Harry
said.
Kane?
No, all
Best
right,
penalty
moving on
taker
to
ever,
the.
by the way.
Oh my God, Andre Pirlo, get out of here! Don't even start.
No,
I
if you
mean, there
if
are
you're
quite
talking
a
about
few that we could
Italians,
talk of.
it's Balotelli. He missed like one penalty his whole career.
He only took 2.
No, he was penalty taker for City. He was penalty taker for who did he go to in Italy towards the end
He
of
was
his career?
playing
Do you
for
Fiorentina.
remember?
Inter. He was playing for Milan at some
He
point,
didn't
I
miss a
think.
penalty in his career until he was like 29 or something. It's because he didn't
Uh,
care.
yeah, he was that kind of a guy who had all the talent in the world, but his brain was fried.
Yeah,
So, the last game of the video, Kirk, Saint-Etienne and Monaco. Saint-Etienne sitting 2 points under the safety, sitting in the relegation zone, that is, with 27 points. Monaco in the Champions League qualification spot, but only 1 point less than Lille and 3 points less than Marseille. Who do you have?
Monaco sucks. Saint Etienne to the moon.
All right, plus 550 on the money line for Kirk Saint Etienne. I'm taking over 4 cards in this one. I think this was going to get chippy quite fast. And Saint Etienne has to get rough. I mean, they just can't defend without it. So I don't know what they were waiting for with those yellow cards in the previous games. But I think we see at least 4 cards in this one, Jack.
Monaco drew on the road to Le Havre, and Saint Etienne are playing better than Le Havre right now. So I can't take Monaco here at all. I do think, however, it's going to take a lot for Saint Etienne to win. I have to take the draw. When it comes down to 90 minutes, you probably, if you're Monaco, you probably rather just get the point than lose the game. So yeah, draw.
2 wins are better.
Well,
1 win's better than a draw and a loss, or
I
2
agree.
draws.
I agree.
Might as well go for it and lose this one and win the next one.
that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for joining us. Good luck with all of your bets. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon with more free winners.